Hello, and welcome to Technique Talk Tuesday. Hey, Robin, how's it going? Let me get my screen fixed. Yeah, going pretty good. I can't complain. All right, as you are popping on this evening, say hello. Let us know who's here. I'm excited to talk about this waffle flower grip mat. It really will be a game changer for me anyway. Hello, Marianne. Doing good. How about you? Mary, hello. Hello, hello. Again, as you're popping on, say howdy ho. We'll give it another minute and then we will get started. Hey, Barbara, because I am excited about this one. I am excited about this product right here that is fairly new and just arrived into the store the end of last week. So I snatched it right up. Well, hello, Marilyn, there too. All right, so 7 o'clock, and we'll get started. I saw a video from Waffle Flower on these mats, and these are the two sizes that we have in the store. This is the 8.5 by 8.5, and this is the 4 1/4 by 6. So this 4 1/4 by 6, that's this one, fits in your mini Misty, and I'm going to show you that. And then this one I just liked because it was big and gives you an option to use most size stencils. Maybe not some of the big slim lines, but it's the biggest one they have, so there's that. And in these packages, you do get an extra one of these little grids, all right? So these are the extra grids. I've got my grids on my mats, but you can see this is a 5-layer stencil that I did on this mat, and I just can't even believe how gorgeous it turned out because I struggle with lining up the layered stencil. So isn't that just amazing? All right, so I'm going to do one of these and show you how very simple it is. But here is the 8.5. I have the liner on the top just because I don't want it to get dirty, and then on the bottom is the grid. So I just have the grid on the bottom, and it's really easy to clean too. So if it does happen, well, it did get dirty when I got ink all over it. I just wiped it with a wipe, but you can run it under soapy water, and it's one of the photopolymer plastics that are naturally sticky. I'm just making sure that I said that right. Yep, it's a photopolymer. So it's always naturally sticky. So if you're just wiping it or washing it with mild soap and water, it should go right back to sticky. All right, so I'm going to pull this off. Okay, so this, like I said, is the 8.5 square. Now it's got A2 size, it's got A7 size kind of marked on here in portrait and landscape, okay? So all you have to do is take your little paper. This is my panel that I'm going to stencil, and I am going to stick it right in the square that is for A2. And you can see that it's in the A2 square, all right? And I'm going to stick it, and you can see it doesn't move. Okay, now this is a new stencil from Spellbinders, and I'm not even sure if it's out yet because it's from some vendor classes that we were doing, but I thought this 5-layer stencil would be perfect to not only try for myself, but to demo as well. So it's 5 layers. They're all numbered. They've got numbers etched in, and they also have little guides etched in them, and then these little holes here. So these little corner guides are what you need to line up with your A2 panel. And so if you do that on here, you still have part of the stencil that overlaps the paper, and that is what sticks to the grip mat. All right, so I just give it a little push to make sure it's getting a little grip on there, and you can see the stencil doesn't move either. Now on this one I did 2 colors of red. I did Abandoned Coral and Lumberjack Plaid. I'm going to try pink for this demo, and I'm going to use Spun Sugar and Kitsch Flamingo. So I start with the lighter colors. When there's for the poinsettias and the berries, there's 2 colors, and then for the leaves there's 2 colors, and for the pine cones there's 2 colors. I start with the lighter color, and I am going to use my blending brushes, and I am going to just stencil. And you can see I'm holding this because it's on a piece of paper and it's a little bit slidey, but I think if it were right on my glass mat, it wouldn't slide. You just can't see the grid marks when it's on my glass mat because it's black underneath it. So, but as you can see, the paper is not moving, and neither is the stencil. And for those of you that know me, I'm not gentle at all. So I am stenciling away here and not being gentle at all. All right. So there is number 1. And then you just pick it up, voila. And then number 2, make sure this is number 2, it's got the etching in the corner. I line it up exactly the same way. I line up the little etched corner and the little dot that is on the stencil on both corners. There's the etched corners here and the dots here. And then I'm just going to give it a little push here because there's not too much over the panel, but there's definitely enough for it to stick. And my next color I'm going to use is Kitsch Flamingo. What's Marilyn? I like that you don't have to hold that stencil. Yes, Marilyn, it is absolutely awesome that you don't have to hold the stencil. All right, so we'll get our next layer. And honestly, I think the only mistake that you could potentially make is that you didn't line it up perfectly, but there's all sorts of grid lines on this thing that make it pretty darn easy to line up. All right, so there is the first 2. Now the next colors are our greens, and I am going to start with Shabby Shutters. But first I'm going to say, yes, this is stencil 3. I'm going to line up the corner in here. And if you didn't want to line up by the etching on the corner, you could also line up by your lines on your grid, on your grip mat. So see, I just lined up the corners, and then I always like to take a look and see, like, are where these berries are supposed to be covered up. Yes, they are. But my flower's not. Hold on, I'm gonna reposition it. I got it up too high. So that's what. It's really easy to. You don't have to untape it and tape it back on either. You can just pull it up and reposition it. Easy peasy. All right, we'll push it down around the edges here. And we will start with shabby shutters. Hi, Sharon. And we will ink our leaves. Yeah, I just absolutely love that I don't have to hold or tape or untape or retape the stencil. All right. That is stencil number 3. Now, stencil number 4, I did notice that it's got the pine cones on it, so I'm going to do the veins of the leaves in Rustic Wilderness, but I'm going to save the pine cones and do them in Vintage Photo. So here I am, stencil number 4, and that's just the way this stencil happens to work. I think instead of doing 6 stencils, they just put it together like that. All right, so lined up by the etching in the corner, and then Rustic Wilderness in the little veins here of the leaves. All right, and then our Vintage Photo, our brown colors that we're using are Vintage Photo and Ground Espresso. So I'm going to go ahead and do these pine cones in Vintage Photo. All right. Pull that off. Doesn't it look... I've never stenciled a layered stencil this neat in my entire life, ever. Okay, stencil 5, last one. Lining up the corners and the dots. Oops, slightly off. All right, pushing it down around the edges here. And Ground Espresso, here we come. Now this is the last stencil and it does have some tiny little dots on it, so gotta make sure that I got all those. Like flower centers and little berry things. All right. And that is, look at how, I'm amazed kind of myself, but isn't that gorgeous? And look, you saw exactly how easy it was. That was exactly how easy it was. Aren't they beautiful? Yeah. The other thing too that I really like is, and I'll show you, I'm going to show you this really quick, not with a layered stencil, but just with a regular stencil. I'm putting this in the A2 spot. And a 6x6 stencil really gives you some grip, and you can arrange it however you want. Let's say I wanted to arrange my waves kind of over to the side here, because I might trim my panel on the other. That gives you some good grip over on this side. So you could do a 6x6 stencil on your panel too. Now I cut all A2 panels, but you can do larger panels, larger stencils, and also this would be great for inking die cuts. So if you were just die cutting a bunch of pieces, you could stick a little piece on here and ink the edges, because then you wouldn't get all inky on your fingers because you wouldn't have to hold it. Ooh, that's really sticking. See? Easy as that. And it really is, it really, really is just that easy. Now, the other thing that I did want to show you, I'm going to put my liner on here, is that the smaller size that we have fits in the Mini Misty. And there are other sizes, too, that are available. We're just testing out these. So this is the 4 3/4 by 6. And you can see that I've got some stamps set up. So what you do is you take out this foam and I put the grid on the back, and I'm taking my liner off the front, and it fits right in here. It's right in. And then you can put your paper. There is a 4 by 4 already marked off, and a 4 1/4. A 4 by 5 1/4. All right, which, put that right there. All right, now I'm going to stamp this to show. I already put my stamps on there, but it's stuck on here, and you don't have to use your magnet. So you know how sometimes if you really want to fill the page, sometimes your magnet is in the way and you can't utilize your full sheet. Well, this, no magnet. All right, let me get my ink pad is a little bit dry. But I mean, you saw that didn't lift up, didn't move. Not quite sure why I don't have my inking assistant right here, but I don't. I need to re-ink my ink pads. All right, see? And that didn't have to use my magnet. Paper comes right off. And my stamping is ready for coloring and die cutting. So it's a great way to use it in your Mini Misty. Now, where did I put? Where did I put the liner? I have so much stuff on my desk right now, you guys. Oh, here it is. I just don't want it to get dirty. All right. Now, for cleaning it, I didn't really get any ink on here, but like I said before, I just used a wipe and wiped it off. But you could also just run it under warm water with a mild soap. I always like to say Dawn because that's always the one that's mild, right? Mary's asking, can you use paste over stencils with this? Yes, Mary, you could, absolutely. You just want to make sure that you clean it off right away so that you don't have any of the paste sticking on the mat. So I just wiped off my mat. All my ink is gone. I have little pieces of foam that I was die cutting earlier on here. All right. And it is clean. I'm going to let that dry, and then I am going to put my liner back on top. I am just really thrilled. I'm thrilled with how this works. I've never been able to do layered stencils like this, and this is just gorgeous. It's a card front itself. I just have to put a sentiment on it. We'll have these layered stencils from Spellbinders. I don't know if we have them already, but if not, we should have them. There's, let's see, we've got the August release. There's still a September release coming, so lots of new things coming from Spellbinders. Lois is asking, do we have the mats in the store? Yes, we have two of the, I think they have 6 sizes. We've got 2 of the 6 sizes, Lois, in the store now. We have and they're both of the ones that I've shown you. They are the 4 3/4 by 6 inch grip mat. They also have one that fits the regular size Misty. All right, so that size is available also. And then this is the largest one. It's the 8.5 by 8.5 that I used first, which is this one. This one right here. So it's all dry and it's all sticky again. because like I said earlier, that's the natural state of the photopolymer that they use for these mats. So as soon as it dries, it gets sticky again. If it ever is not sticky, all you have to do is wash it with warm water and mild soap. And that is recommended by the manufacturer. Also, if you use any of the other, I always want to say Waffle House because of the Jonas Brothers song. Any of the other waffle flour products, they've got mats that fit into the water mat square, and then ones that kind of butt up in the stencil mat as well. So they all kind of coordinate so they're not slipping and sliding around. And in my opinion, based on just what I've done with it so far, it's a very affordable price for what you can do with it. I mean, if I can do layered stencils like this every time, I would have probably paid more. All right, so let's see. Did I get all the questions? Does anybody have any other questions? Yeah, we have them in the store. Yeah. Karen, you're asking, did I cover cleaning? Did you catch that? And if not, you can always catch the replay. Yep, it looks like I got all the questions so far. Does anybody have any other questions? I would say that this is going to be a hot product. I really like it. I really like it because you can have or not have the grids on them. That the grid is removable if you just wanted to have a plain white grip mat. Yes, Marilyn, you do need one. Yeah, they do clean up very nicely. Now, Mary did ask about the paste, and I'm sure that you can do that. I haven't tried it, but I don't see why you couldn't, because you just wipe the paste off. All right, so if nobody else has any questions, I will say a couple of things. Number one, we reached our goal of 500 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for that. We will have a random prize drawing, like I promised in the contest post on the Facebook page on September 9th. So of all the people that followed the rules and commented on Instagram and on Facebook, your name will be going into the hat for a prize. I don't know what the prize is, but you know that Scrappy Chic always has fabulous prizes. We will have Scrappy Chat on Saturday, where we will go over a lot of new products. There's a lot of new things. Clearly, if you've been watching the Facebook page, Renee's been checking in boxes like crazy. Lots of new products to go to show you. I better get busy and do a Michigan inspiration project, so we'll have one of those. And we will also draw our winner for week 4 of the Shop Hop. The Shop Hop ends this Saturday, August 26th. So make sure that you get your passports turned in if you want to be entered for the grand prize drawing or any other prize drawings that are going to be happening at Scrappy Chic. But for the raffle that we've been doing, weekly raffle, we will be drawing for week 4. And that prize was a fabulous bundle of adhesives from 3L and the Scrappy Chic canvas pouch. All right, so that was the week 4 prize. We've got lots of new things on the calendar. The September calendar was opened. There's actually only 1 seat left in the Michigan Memory Decks class. So if you wanted to get in on that, you better snatch up that last seat. So 1 seat left there. That is September 20th, maybe? No, maybe. I don't know. That is going to be on a Sunday, the Sunday before Sweet Gnome, which I believe is the 23rd, which is also open. All of you folks that were very interested in doing the gnome home decor piece. That class is on the calendar for September 23rd. We also, as I mentioned a couple of times, got it together and got all of our information put together and got the Scrappy Chic Takes Over the Cape bus trip to Crop on the Cape for March 24th, all figured out, and sign-ups and deposit is on the calendar. If we don't get enough people signed up by February 21st, we won't be able to make the trip. The bus holds, we need a minimum of 40 people, and we can have up to 50 people. So we need to get affordable, and who doesn't want to go to Cape Cod? I've never been, and I can't wait to go. Mary's asking February. Did I say February for something? Did I mean September? I don't know, Mary. I'm not sure what you're saying. February with a question mark. Anyway, that's all I got. I don't see any other questions. Oh, okay. I might, did I say February and I meant September? Sorry. Probably. It could happen. It's been a long day. And the Tigers are on. I'm missing it. I'm not focused. Okay. So if I said February, sorry, I meant September. You have to sign 40 people by September 21st. The trip is in March. So a little clarification there. Okay? All right, everybody. So again, thanks for joining. And I'll be talking to you again on Saturday. Scrappy Chat, 9:30 a.m. on my birthday. So I'll be seeing you then. All right. Thanks for joining.